welcome to another one of my Adobe Photoshop video lesson. Today's this lesson, I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop as a tool to create some really cool artwork effects. For example, this time I'm going to show you how to convert an image, for example yourself, your image into an Andy Warhol art effect. So without wasting much time, let's start our lesson. Okay.
Hello. Alright, welcome to my Photoshop lesson. Today's lesson is we are going to create an awesome effect with which I call it the Andy Warhol Photoshop effect, which I will be sort of turning this image into, for example, and turn it into this effect here. Okay, so you can see that this is a typical Andy Warhol art effect, right? So it's basically first what we need to do is to create 3 layers, and each layer given a particular color, and it combines into this effect here. Okay, so let's go back to our file here, and also eventually you also can turn it into this effect. All right, so this is another Andy Warhol typical Andy Warhol art effect. All right, so let's move back to this file here. Okay, so what you need to do is basically to find an image with a white background or just a plain background without any complex texture, so it'll be easier to do this effect, right? So let's the first step what we're gonna do is to make sure that we have the history available. All right, history is actually under window and get history. All right, so another one is layers. Okay, at this panel here, you can also get it from here. All right, so we just need just 2 panels ready from time to time. Okay, so we're gonna start with selecting the subject here. All right, so what we're gonna be doing is to be able to select and extract this subject here or object here, and then we're going to move it to another document. Okay, so basically so in order to select this subject, it's going to take a bit of time, you see. So in order to save time, we can actually do a bit of shortcut, which is instead of selecting this, we're going to select the background, and then we're going to do a reverse selection, and then automatically it will select the subject here. Okay, let's start with the selection tool that we're going to be using is this one called the Magic Wand tool. On the left hand side, this toolbox here. Let's click inside. There's actually if you right click on it, on the icon, it actually has two tools here. So we're gonna make sure that we're gonna select the right tool, which is the Magic Wand tool. Right. So before we select any pixels or any area in an image, first of all we have to decide what is the tolerance. Okay. So tolerance is the part that we adjust based on the what we call the pixels that we are going to select. So this is the white pixel. It's generally very general pixels. All right, so if you're selecting a very specific pixels like the hair, then you have to lower the tolerance. First, in this case, we are going to select the white background. So we're going to select the right hand side here. Okay, so I've set the tolerance to 28. Basically, the tolerance is based on your experience. So So based on trial and error, so if you think that the tolerance is you need to be lower or higher, you have to adjust it accordingly. So if I do a click here, okay, so and basically you can see that it automatically selects all the area that I needed. All right, so it's quite nice to see the outline here. Okay, so if let's say if I shift it up a little bit to 30, what's going to happen is we can do another click. Okay, so it's sort of just more or less the same. Okay, so it's around this range here. Okay, and then I have to select this part here. So I have to press and hold the shift key, all right, in order to continue my selection. If I continue my selection and click, all right, so you can see that it actually over selected this part here a little bit. So what I need to do is to go to my history and undo this part here. Okay, go back one step, and I need to lower my tolerance to around, let's say, 18. Okay, so this is based on my trial and error. So I press and hold the shift key and then on the keyboard and then click, and then it gives me a nice selection here. Okay, so this is I'm done with selecting the white background. So like I mentioned before, I need to reverse the selection. To reverse selection is to go to select and go to inverse. All right, go to inverse. Inverse is to reverse selection. So right now you can see the dotted lines is actually focusing or surrounding the subject here, which is the object in this image, right? So this is exactly what we want. Right, after we have successfully selected the subject here, now it's time to actually move this selection to another document. So what we're going to do is to go to edit and then copy, or you can use the shortcut Command C, all right, or Control C in Windows. Okay, so copy. So we're going to we have copied this this what do you call this selection, and then we're just going to create a new document here, and so basically we are going to paste the this selection and then in the new document. Okay, so what we're going to do is to basically set the document a bit larger. Okay, so while we wait for the document to open up, okay, it's opening up, and okay, cool. And right, the width and the height we're gonna adjust it a bit because this figure here, make sure it's under pixel. Yeah, the unit, make sure it's under pixels, and the width and the height here is actually based on what I've copied just now. So but we're going to try to increase it a little bit, make it a little bit bigger, the document. So we're going to set it to width 2500 pixel, and the height is 2600 pixels. Okay, so like that, and then we're just going to hit the create button. All right, and then after that, you are going to document here. We're gonna have to paste the object. All right, so I pasted it. Go to edit, paste, and now if you look at layers, you can see that I have a new layer here. All right, so just gonna selection, gonna move tool, and then just gonna move the layer here a little bit lower. Okay, and right now is this is the work that we're going to start by separating this into a few layers. All right, so let's we're going to start our work by changing this to an effect, the threshold effect. Okay, so make sure you're in layer 1. So we go to image, we go to adjustment, we go to threshold, Okay, and so this is the threshold dialog box, and we're just gonna set this to threshold level to 200. Okay, so 200 is for me is the perfect effect result or effect which I wanted for this artwork. Okay, so you can set it to something else on your own. So you can, if you don't like it to be so much, you can adjust the slider here. So I'm just gonna stick it to. I'm just gonna stick to 200. Okay, just click OK. All right. So right now, after you have turned this layer into a threshold effect, into the threshold effect, and so what you need to do is to make a duplication of this layer. So in order to do that, okay, so it's very easy. Under the layers panel here, do you see this icon called create new layer, create a new layer icon? So what you need to do is if you drag a any layer here and then drop it here, it will duplicate one for you. And let's say if I just click on this thumbnail here and then I just drop it onto this icon. So what it will do is actually it has already duplicated the layer for me. So what I need to do is I'm just going to rename this newly duplicated layer. Okay, just double click on the text here. So I'm just going to call it layer 2. Okay. So so I have two layers, including the background layer. Is three. I have 3 layers. Okay. So I'll just go back to move to layer 1. Okay. And by the way, you can switch on and switch off the eye here. So it means the layer is not visible anymore. Okay, so just for your information. Okay, so just go back to layer 1 and basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna turn this object here into white color. You see this? All right. Let's say if I click the eye here, click turn off background, turn off layer 2. So this is we are focusing on layer 1. So what we want to do is to turn this thing here into into white color. All right. So what I need to do is to select this what we call this area here. All right. So this is the object of this layer 1. Alright, so you can see the background there's nothing there, it's transparent. So what I do is I need to press and hold the option key, sorry, the command key on the keyboard. Right, so press and hold the command key on the keyboard. If you're using a Windows system, then you have to press and hold the control key. Alright, and then roll over to the thumbnail here, right? See that? Click on it, alright? And then this is how we actually select an object in the layer, right? So next thing is we have to make sure that we have to set our color to at least one of this is white color, okay? Because we're gonna fill in a white color into this area here, okay? So right now my this is called the fill set foreground color, and this is the set background color. Alright, I'm going to use a shortcut to fill the color from here. For example, if I want to use the black color here, alright, to fit into my selection here, okay, I would use a shortcut called fill in foreground color, option delete for Mac, and alternate backspace for Windows. Okay, so if I want to use the white color here, which is set as background color, my background color is set as white color. If I want to make use of this color and then apply this color and fit into my selection here, I would use a shortcut called fill background color is command delete. You press the command key on the keyboard and the delete key on the keyboard, and you get the background color fill. And Windows is Control plus backspace. Okay, Let's try this for a bit. So I'm in layer layer 1, all right, and I've selected the object here, and I'm just going to test out the shortcut. So I'm just going to use Option Delete to fill in the black color here. All right, so you can see it it goes like this, right? It fills up the whole thing, right? If you use the paint bucket tool, it doesn't fill up the whole thing like this. It will fill up certain pixels, certain area, and you have to do a lot of rounds to fill up the whole thing. So right now, I'm going to use the white color to fill to the selection here. So remember the background fill, the background color is Command Delete. Windows is Control Backspace. So let's try this one here. Command Delete. Okay. So you can see that it's already filled for me nicely. This is exactly what I want. So after I've done this, I need to Command D to deselect. I don't want to select anything. Command D on your keyboard to deselect, or Control D down key, Control D to deselect. You have to make sure that you deselect, otherwise you cannot move on. All right. So right now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to I'm just going to switch this one off and concentrate on the layer 2. Right? So in layer 2, our task is to get rid of the white pixels and leave the black pixels. Okay, so we only want the black pixel, we don't want the white pixel. So we're going to use a tool called the what do you call that? And the select color range tool. All right. So this color range tool, what it does is basically you click any particular pixel in an image, and then it will automatically select all the same pixels in that image. All right. So this is the cool thing. So if I click on this white color here, then fuzziness, you just set it to about 100, and then click OK. All right. So right now, right now what it's doing is it's selecting the white color pixel. So what I need to do now is make sure you're on layer 2, yeah, when you are doing the color range. So make sure layer 2, go to select, color range, then click on this one, click on white color, click OK. Alright, so right now I'm just going to press the delete key or your backspace key on your Windows to get rid of the white color. So right now you can see there's no more white color pixels here. So what next thing is to Command D to deselect, or Control D to deselect on your Windows. So right now I have successfully created 3 layers. First is layer 2, which is the black pixels, layer 1, which is only the white pixels, and a background layer, which is the background here. So right now I can turn it into the Andy Warhol effect by just changing the color of each layer. So I'm just going to start with background layer. Okay, so I will pick a color on the foreground. I will pick a light color, okay, like pink or something, a light pink color, right? And then I'll use the remember the shortcut here. If I want to use the foreground color, it's going to be Option Delete or Alternate Backspace. Okay, so alternate Option Delete for Windows. Okay, so right now you can see that it's a fill in for me. So okay, we'll go to layer 1. I'm going to fill in the object in layer 1. Okay, so before I do that, I have to select the object in layer 1. So what I do is I press and hold the Option key, all right, or the alternate key in Windows, Option key in the Mac. Just click over here. Press and hold the Option. Oh, sorry, the Command key. Made a mistake. The Command key, yeah, Command key or the Control key on your Windows. Click onto the thumbnail here. Okay, so I'm just going to pick another color here, and so I'm just going to pick a light yellowish beige color. So Option Delete for Mac, and alternate backspace for Windows. Right, so Command D to deselect, Control D to deselect for Windows. So I go to layer 2. This time again I press and hold the Command key on the Control key on Windows. Click on the thumbnail here. Alright, so this time I'm gonna pick a dark color. Alright, so what color do I do? Maybe I'll pick a dark red. Yeah. Okay, so Option Delete. Or okay. Okay, so Command D to deselect. So right now I managed to successfully created the Andy Warhol effect, and then on your own you can actually turn it to this what we call this effect here. Okay, so basically you just need to combine the layers of combine all the layers here. Okay, to combine the layers is to go to this icon here under the layers panel, and then merge visible. Right, so once you merge visible, all right, so then you can actually copy and paste this file here, this area here, and then bring it to another document. Okay, so basically the idea of this this particular effect is to have 3 layers. All right, so make sure you have a layer for the red, and then have another layer for this color, and then a layer for background, and then you're done. Okay, and also remember that you must have you should have an image that has a white background. Okay, so I hope you like this lesson, and hope you learned something cool. All right, thank you.